Alright. I wasn't sure if I was going to make more content of the midweek thing, because by the time I upload the second video, it's kind of done. Which probably might be a good thing, given what I'm about to do, because if this started to show up all over the place, then I wouldn't really want to play this anyways. So, this is the midweek thing, and what this does is you play Mutavault or Blink Moth Nexus on turn 1, and then you transmogrify with your free spell, and it transmogrifies your manned land into Cultivator Colossus, which then dies, but it still gets its trigger. You don't have any lands, it's a 0/0. It dies, you get a trigger, and then you play more than 20 deserts, really. I mean, just any degree of deserts that's more than 20. Each enters the battlefield. You draw a card, play a land, draw a card, play a land. You keep doing that because of the ability here. And you just put 20 or more deserts into play. You kill your opponent. This is turn 1. This is obscene and hilarious. You can make it more consistent with 4 copies of Nexus instead of just 1. I'm running only 1, and I have 2 Mishra's Foundries. This is a turn 2 target. There's another turn 2 target in here, I think. No. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. It's a Lair of the Hydra. You can't do it for 0. It's turn 2. The only reason I'm running those is because I don't own more of this one. And I am an adamant free-to-play player. I'm not going to craft this just for this deck. I know this card is maybe useful elsewhere, but I'm just not going to craft it. I think with the literal ability to mulligan infinitely, because you're only looking for this, is you're probably always going to have it if you have 5, and if you have 8 of them, you will always have it by the time you go all the way down to 1 on your mulligan. It's like a 98 or 99% chance. For me, it's probably like 88 or 87, with just 5, but with 8 of them, you're just always going to do it. So, extremely straightforward, and if you just want to win really quick for your dailies and not care about casting any colored spells other than, I guess, red. It does actually cast a red spell. Send it. I don't think there's anything that could beat this. It doesn't lose to Phyrexian Unlife. It doesn't lose to 9 lives. I'm just saying, like, turn 1 or whatever, if they put those in play, because it pings past them and then they would just die anyways. It doesn't lose to Goblin Charbelcher because that's turn 2. It doesn't lose to Necromentia on turn 1 if someone for some reason does cast that in the impossible universe. They would have to A, cast it, and then B, name Transmogrify. I think there's actually a second one if you want it to get super sweaty. I think there's actually a second version of this card, and it does the same thing. So you could run 1 in 1, and then suddenly no one can Necromentia you. But actually, that's not true. Never mind. They can just name Cultivator Colossus. They would have to know what you're playing, and then have to hit it. So technically, there's something that can beat it. But other than that, I so far have not seen a single thing in the game that beats this other than itself. And then it's just like a coin flip who went first, right? So, yeah, if this is your kind of thing, like, comment, subscribe. If it's not your kind of thing, like, comment, subscribe anyways. Let's do some games. Alright, we don't have it. Alright, we have it. We can also get rid of that, which wouldn't matter. I could keep it in hand if I wanted to anyway. Oh, we're on the play too. Look at that. My opponent doesn't even get to play Magic. It's like Ragavan every game. Oh, the best part is you actually don't even have to click, like, your opponent 20 times. This just targets them for free. You don't actually have to click. You do have to click for the colorless one. The normal desert, you actually have to click your opponent's face. So if you're, like, cognizant of that and don't want to bother, you don't have to actually do it. I will say, there is a moderate failure rate if you mulligan too low and you don't chain too many deserts together, because you do have some whiffs on it, on your deck. You can whiff. You can whiff. So, like, you could probably just run 1 Cultivator Colossus. I'm running 3. I could definitely drop one. I really can't imagine going down to 2 changes anything. Oh man, this is peak magic right here. Oh yeah. It's great. Man, this is dumb. Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, yeah, we could probably go down a Crater Hoof. Alright, this is the second game, and I just have it. And I'm also on the play. Oh, opponent, you didn't let me do the animations. Oh, alright. Fair enough. Oh no. Oh no, dude. On the play again. Look at that. Oh, wait, hold on. What's this? Failure rate? Oh, never mind. Alright, so what do we put away? Does it matter? I think it literally... Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I don't know what I'm thinking about it. Alright, so we have 4 lands. Let's hope we don't hit our... Actually, no, it's impossible. There's only 3 cards in our deck to hit. That would make us fail, right? Yeah, there's only 3. 1 Colossus and 2 Wait a minute. No, excuse me, there's only 2. There's 1 Transmogrify and 1 Colossus. I had just taken 1 out. Okay, so it's impossible to fail because that's... we have 4 cards and they all can't be non-lands at the same time. So technically that means if we... Oh, yeah, I guess that means if I ever mulligan lower than 2, there's a failure rate. But if I do not, there is no failure rate. I see. Alright. Alright, well, at least I got one person that didn't concede immediately. But now people are conceding. It's like I'm playing Solemnity 9 Lives, except people are actually scooping when they have no answer. It's like the same thing, except instead of taking 20 minutes for someone to concede, they concede immediately, because the game is immediately over. By force. By force, mind you. It's immediately over by force. Okay, we're on the draw this time. We're on the draw. Okay, opponent is not trying to scam us. Alright, this is the first spell cast against us since I started. And it took, was this 5 or 4 games? But it matters not, opponent. It matters not. Almost got to 20 that time. Almost got to 20. Yeah, every time I show this deck to somebody, I think we just create a new person who's going to play this deck. So, the more people that play this, the more you'll see it. Because everyone who loses to it is just going to start playing it, and it's just going to be like a coin flip game. Okay, so if my opponent holds up a removal spell... green's not looking like it's going to do that. And, oh, okay, well, you know... Cards in the game exist. Do we have one? We do not. Oh, opponent knows about it. Okay, after like a bajillion wins, and literally not being able to lose, I'm gonna see if Ulamog can kind of do the same thing. It's the exact same strategy, except our opponent has a degree of outs that might actually contest this Ulamog, and I think that's funny. So let's try that. You can run more than just this too. I can run like a bunch of random dumb stuff and just play with whatever it hits first. But let's pick like maybe the strongest one of the bunch. Blue-red. Interesting, with no instant and sorceries. Oh, a different kind of combo deck, maybe? Zenith Flare can send it face. Okay, so you have a bunch of Zenith Flares and a bunch of cycle lands that you discard. Okay, but you can't cast the Zenith Flare until turn 4. You can randomly cascade into one, I guess, but then your order has random? My opponent's order is just kind of random, right? Like, if they get a Zenith Flare, it only deals 8. If they get another Treasure Hunt, it deals however much damage they find. Alright, yep. My opponent has the most coin-flippy random kind of strategy to win, and it doesn't ever, I think, win turn 2. Right? You would have to have the most insane... Like, you would have to have Treasure Hunt as the first one, and then the second one would be Zenith Flare. So it's a 50-50, right? Assuming it's 4 and 4, which it probably is. And then from there, it's another 50-50 because the second one has to be that as well. Or rather, there's 4 of these and 3 of these, so it's slightly better than a 50-50. But, yeah, also, not only that, but the Treasure Hunt on the first turn actually has to hit 20-plus cards. Oh, generic 5/5s? Generic 5/5s? Yay! Opponent didn't even care it was Ulamog. I wonder if my opponent could beat Ulamog. If you get a free 5/5 every turn, I feel like you actually can. Like, Ulamog is not just the end-all be-all. It would be hard, like, you take one attack, then you swing some. But it's possible. It's possible. Alright, I apologize. I was playing this all wrong. World Spine Worm. Alright, I completely forgot Kalani Garden... Or, Colony Garden exists. Leyline of Sanctity. My opponent mulligan all the way down for Leyline of Sanctity? What? Ulamog's big stars. What is happening? I guess my opponent assumed because I mulliganed so much that I was this combo deck. Wow, are we actually going to beat the tech because I put in a stupid giant creature that is not Cultivator Colossus? Am I going to beat the tech? Am I going to beat the tech? You can't target him with deserts? I'm beating the tech, dude. Oh yeah, I can just mulligan. Oh, look at that. It was beneficial to mulligan. Look at that. Another leyline deck? No way. What is happening? Is this actually something people are taking serious? I have never seen... Up until I started playing this, I haven't actually seen people, like, trying to stop it. That's really weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Is World Spy Worm actually just better? No, there's no way, right? Because they don't always have this. And you can win on turn 0. No, this beats turn 0. This beats turn 0 wins. It's not true. Loses 5 life unless they discard. That's a very strange card. What's really nice, though, is they have to exile it, or I get 5/5s, and they also just annihilate my opponent themselves. I can play Mutavault as a beater, too. I guess that's technically possible. Put it to my hand? Yeah, I guess I'll put it to my hand. I could have activated Mutavault and got a second one. I kind of forgot that was a possibility, I'm not going to lie. I kind of forgot I could make a second one. Oh no, opponent, that doesn't do it. That is, that ain't beating the big tramples. That is funny. Yeah, look at 2 games in a row. World Spine Worm was actually better. Alright, opponent. Are you going to be 3 for 3 with the leyline? Okay, we're mindlessly mulliganing, so either leyline or combo back. I think they're at 1. Yep. Ooh, almost enough. Almost enough, opponent. Almost enough. I'm actually going to transmogrify my opponent's creature because it's almost every 5-drop in the game is smaller than a 10/10, and if I could just give them simply just give them a different creature, right? Their whole deck is doing the same thing. If I give them a different creature, it's less likely they block this and kill it in a trade next turn. Okay, so after another like bajillion wins, it felt like World Spine Worm was almost better than Cultivator Colossus because out of nowhere people just started playing Leyline of Sanctity just to have hexproof against the desert tech, right? Just deserting your opponent for 20. I said there was nothing on Earth that could beat Cultivator Colossus in the beginning. I guess I was wrong because Sanctity works. It does give them hexproof. You can still do it twice, right? You could technically get a second Cultivator Colossus. You could get a second one, but like it's probably not very likely that you get the second one in play and have it be massive. But you could, right? You can get Kalani Garden tokens and whatnot and actually not draw the second Transmogrify before it's like 20 in size. Not the most likely, but it can happen. So you can actually beat Leyline even through it. But usually that's not going to happen. So when that does happen, it's always nice to have World Spine Worm instead. I think that's funny. Now, if you're expecting Charbelcher all day, then you must play Colossus, because then you need to actually kill your opponent, and then it's back to the coin flip. Do they have the Shroud or whatever? They have the face hexproof or not, and then they win or lose, depending. But this isn't a 2020, so you can't one-shot your opponent. You could maybe, if you want to be super jank, go back to Ulamog. I was trying Ulamog, right? And that exiles cards. That could make it so Charbelcher cannot kill you. That is absolutely a possibility. But then it's play versus draw, because if they went first, then they do the thing, goes back to you, you do nothing, it goes back to them, you didn't actually get to swing. So again, it kind of boils down to coin flips. But that's just any ridiculous format with like the free Chamil in play is going to look like this, right, at the most ridiculous end. But it's funny. It's hilarious. If you want to just get your wins for the day and not actually play Magic the Gathering, I would absolutely recommend this. And I will probably do that tomorrow just to get the wins out of the way. I don't know. But if you have ideas that, like, feel better than this somehow, let me know. I can't imagine turn 1 wins get much better than that. I don't really think the Leyline tech is the best idea, because you can cascade into it, and that's a really bad idea, right? You don't want to just cascade into Leyline of Sanctity, but some people are willing to do that. So anyways, let me know what you think about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.